right now we're going to kick off into our first topic of the show. This one's I think it's going to be kind of interesting. There's been a lot of NX rumors lately, and we don't want to get into NX rumors here. That's not, I mean, we might tip on some of those because obviously we're going to have to in order to get where we're going here. But we kind of wanted to do an idea of like if you ran Nintendo. So right now, if you ran Nintendo, how would you handle the NX launch? What would you do to get it over with the people and make it sell?
You know what I would do? I'd look at what the other consoles did.
Mm-hmm.
So when you look at Sony, they had a conference show where they had like everyone come to this place where they unveiled what the PS4 was. It was a massive event, big screens, big projections, and it was like a big E3 conference basically, but just for the unveiling of the PS4.
Mm-hmm.
And that was such a cool moment. They showed off loads of games that were coming to it, and they talked about tech details like what sort of processors and graphics capabilities it had, and it kind of like it was a big info dump, and everyone's attention was on Sony for that, and that just got everyone excited. And then later on that year it came out, and it was like, it wasn't like a long build up. It wasn't like E3 and then another E3 and then it gets released after that. It was quick, all within 1 year.
Yeah.
And I feel like that is
because the Wii U was E3, then they came back for another E3.
Yes.
And then it launched that winter.
Yeah. So I think that the smart thing to do would be do a conference of some kind. I'd prefer like a conference rather than a Nintendo Direct.
Mm-hmm.
Because Nintendo Directs are good, but they don't really go as like mass appeal. Like I don't think they gather as much of an audience as a conference would. It doesn't feel like as big an event, a big celebration. And also talking about the rumors a little bit, everyone's like, the rumors are basically all centered around there being a handheld and a console,
yes,
the hybrid thing. And there was a rumor that they were going to release the handheld version first in this year, and then 2017 the console version.
Mm-hmm.
If that's true, if there are these two things, I think that would make sense.
Yeah.
So
well, I said that I think a while ago in our
you did.
podcast where I said like they need to launch one, because there's no way, in order for this to work properly and to be a high powered piece of equipment, there's no way they can shell this out and go, here you go, $700, come get us. Nobody's going to do it. Nobody's going to move.
No way.
But if they did $200-300 this year, and then next year another $300 to $400, people might go for that. They're more susceptible to go for that, I feel.
Especially if the games work on both devices.
Yes.
Because you would have maybe there's a year gap between the handheld and the console. So you'd release the handheld, it's cheaper than what the console would be. People
Mm-hmm.
buy into that cheapness, they get a bunch of games. By the time that year is up, they've already got a bunch of games that they can play on their new console
Mm-hmm.
that would probably come with new features as well that the handheld couldn't do.
Well, let's do an example. Let's do a hypothetical. Let's say that Zelda hits for it. So you're playing Zelda on this handheld, which is HD. It's high res. You're playing. Now you go to your console, which now you play on the TV. Your screen that you predominantly played on here will now be on the TV. This turns into a map or your item box and all that stuff.
Exactly.
So, and that's the type of features they would have. And it
would look a lot better.
Yes, the TV version would upscale and look better.
Yeah. And, they might have other features. It might just be simple stuff, like graphically it'll be a little bit better, but since there could be more processing power, maybe there's more enemies on screen or whatever. Just little things like that. I mean, who knows?
Yes, exactly. Okay, so myself. Now, if I run Nintendo, this is what I do. March. And I'm looking at it as Nintendo's going to... This is what I really, truly believe they will do. But I also think that if they don't do it, they're making a mistake and they need to do it. This is all on the assumption that the NX will hit this year in 2016. So saying that, I would say that their best key of action is to next month, or I'm sorry, in March, do a Nintendo Direct where you make an announcement, and it's just like maybe even February, you have a regular Nintendo Direct, and then at the end of the Nintendo Direct, you go, in March, we're gonna talk about, we're gonna do a special Nintendo Direct that's strictly NX. When in that NX, it should be more like specs, what it's gonna do, how it works, all that stuff. Then don't talk about nothing again until E3. E3, because they don't do conferences no more, you need to think that they're going to stick to that. And I think that if that's the case, you come with a digital event at E3 that is just NX games.
But the question is, if you were running Nintendo,
yes, no, but but this is what I would do if I was running Nintendo.
So you wouldn't choose to have a conference; you'd still go with Direct.
No, because I feel like because here's the problem. I feel like that lag time. I watch Sony events. I watch Microsoft events. It annoys the hell out of me when every single person in the company needs to puff their chest out and go, I work for Sony and I'm a higher up, and I'm going to announce these 5 games or these 2 games, and then I'm going to walk off the stage, and the next guy is going to come on, and he's going to puff his chest out and announce these 2 games, and he's going to leave, and then it just annoys me. Like, stop it. Just show me what you're going to give me. If you cut out all the fluff of introducing this person and that person and this person, you would have a 30 to 40 minute.
It's true. There is a lot of filler in this.
I hate that stuff. Like, just show me the games. Show me what's coming. I feel like does it work that they have like this big pop, like people flip out when they see something? Yeah, that helps. It helps the hype. But now we're so accustomed to these Nintendo Directs and these digital events, I wouldn't deviate from them. Because this past year, the digital event didn't work. Why? Because they got a little wacky with their stuff, and they
had nothing new.
They didn't have anything really good to show. But you look at the year before.
Yeah, that was killer.
People talked about it. Blew up, like completely exploded. Twitter was going like that's what we have now. We don't have, because what I like about it is E3 is not for the fans. E3 is for the press and the media. It has nothing to do with fans at all. Fans don't go to these conferences. They're not allowed to sit in on these. I mean, they might be allowed to if they can get tickets somehow. But typically it's media. 90 to 95% are media people. It's a very small pocket that might actually be able to get there and get into the event. Like, you're not going. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to fly. But, like, PAX, you can go to. You could fly. You can buy tickets, fly across, go. Gamescom, I can go to. I can buy tickets, fly to,
I mean, you can still go to E3 because they have the show floor where...
Yeah, but you can't get into, like, the conferences and stuff like
but...
that. So that's all media. And the people that complain and cry about it the most, that they went to a digital event, are the media. That's all that cry about it. The fans, the real fans of Nintendo, love it because it's like, hey, they're talking to me. They're not talking to this guy sitting there in the front row, and then I gotta wait for him to relay the message to me. Nintendo cut out the middle.
You can watch the conference live from your home anyway.
Nowadays you can, yes, but at the same time, you got guys coming out that don't speak very good English. Like, I looked at Square's conference this year. Square's conference is basically what Nintendo's conference used to be. It was a lot of mistakes, a lot of errors, you got translations, guys don't speak English, so you got translators up there speaking for, like, Nintendo has basically streamlined it where they can do one video, they can simulcast it to everybody at once, and everybody can watch the same message, and everybody loves it.
That's a good word. It's a simulcast.
Basically what it does, it goes to Japan, it goes to Europe, it goes to us all at the same time. Yeah. Everybody watches it at the same time, and we all enjoy it, and it's a good thing where the dubbing, they just lower the voice of the guy speaking Japanese in the back, and they dub it over top, and it sounds better. Not only that, the editing is better. They can do stuff. They can take you places that they didn't normally take you. Like that year that they did the digital event, and they revealed Yoshi's Woolly World. and they take the guys into the fabric store, and they're sitting there and they're talking about Yoshi's Woolly World and all the designs and all that stuff. Like, that was cool to me. I was like, I'm cool with that. You can't do that on a conference floor. You can show a video package, but I don't feel like nobody can tell me that what Sony does and what Microsoft does at E3 is better than what Nintendo does. It's the same message. It's just cutting out the fluff. I don't have to walk out. So for me at E3, they hit with the games, and that's all they show. They need to come hard with the games and go, these are our launch games. If I'm running Nintendo, I'm coming with Zelda. I'm going to tell people that it's going to be on the Wii U. It's going to be on NX. Bottom line. At E3, I think they dropped the code name NX. They come with their name of their system. I think that's when they let people know what the name is. They need to come with a strong name. I think they need to go back to Nintendo. I think they need to, if I'm running it, I'm going to call it can't really do Ultra Nintendo, but how they went Super Nintendo, something along those lines. Like, it needs to be something Nintendo. Or something NES, just they need to go back to the roots of the system to let people know, like, this is Nintendo. We're back to the hardcore. We're going to cater to the hardcore fans. We're coming with games and all that stuff. And I think that's why they need to come with the games. But they need to come with Zelda. They need to announce or show Metroid. They need to, I think they're probably going to push Star Fox off. I think it's a strong possibility.
Do you think?
I think if they delay Star Fox one more time, I think we don't see it till NX. That's my gut. I think Mario Maker moves on to NX, just a transfer. I think they have a Splatoon, or they talk about a Splatoon, or they move the Splatoon we currently have over to NX. But I think you're going to have a handful of games that they're going to come with, and then they're going to talk Galaxy 3. But Galaxy 3 will be, I don't think it'll hit the system when it launches. Probably be in the first 6 months. But I think they're going to talk about third party. Then November, they need to launch. And I think, like you said, it needs to be a short process. It can't be like, hey, here it is at E3, but it's not coming out until 2017, fall of 2017. Like, they need to be set up to come out guns blazing and go after the competition.
Yeah, definitely.
So, you have anything else on that, or?
I think so. I mean, were there any other rumors that you'd want to talk about? Or
I don't really care about the rumors per se. The only rumors that I'm hearing right now are the rumors that interest me right now are when it launches, when they announce it. That's the only rumor. Because you know what? It's getting to the point now where all the rumors are starting to contradict each other. Yeah. And nobody knows can make heads or tails of it. And I said to you the other day, like, I would love to be Reggie or Bill Trinan or Mr. Miyamoto and just sitting there laughing at people, going like, really? That's what you think we're doing? Because it's so across the board.
I'll tell you what, if it's not a hybrid device, people are going to freak out. People are going to lose their minds.
I think it's definitely going to be a hybrid device, but I think that, like, they're leaving discs, they're going strictly digital, like things like that, those type of rumors, like, I think that's where they're laughing, going like, if they're going to continue to make discs or whatever, they're probably sitting there like, what? Where are you getting this from? And I do believe they're leaving discs. Like Allan talked about it with the flash devices and stuff. Like, I think that's the way they're going. I think the one that I've heard that I just look at and go, what? Is they're going strictly digital, like 100% digital.
There was that interesting thing about it, NX working with PC and other consoles. And I watched Game Scoop this morning, and they was Jared Petty on this was talking about. I think it was him. Anyway, he was talking about what it could be is like, instead of like they'll have a dedicated console that plays the games, but as well they might have like a cloud streaming service. And you can access that on PCs and other consoles. Yeah. So you can like stream your games through a PS4, which would be weird, but you'd pay like a subscription fee or whatever. So that would be a really, like, instead of like Nintendo, everyone wants Nintendo to go third party and have their games on PS4 and Xbox. it'd be a step towards that, but Nintendo would still have the control.
Yeah, but I think too, like if they did that, that's kind of like people just turn around then going, well, why do I need a Nintendo console?
I don't know. I mean, you'd still be paying Nintendo for that service, and all the money would go to them, I guess. I mean, I guess if there was an app on the PS4, you'd be paying Sony a little bit, but it was an interesting idea anyway.
It'll be interesting. It's going to be. I think it'll all shake out later on. We'll see.